I feel the profound exhaustion that has taken hold of your spirit. There is an invisible weight suffocating your chest, a muffled sadness that you insist on hiding from everyone around you, but which overflows in the darkness of your room. Your heart cries out for immediate relief, desperately seeking a sign, a breath of hope that will bring peace to this sea of constant anguish and affliction. You did not arrive here by chance. I have meticulously prepared this encounter. This message from God reaches you now, at the very moment of your greatest pain, simply because your prayer reached me. But why do you feel that heaven has been in profound silence all this time? Where was I when fear paralyzed you, and loneliness seemed to be your only companion? I am the Lord who searches the mind and tests the heart. As I have always affirmed through the unwavering truth of the sacred scriptures, not one of my daughters is ever forgotten in the desert crossing. If you keep your heart connected to me until the last breath of this offering of love, I will unveil what was being woven in the spiritual realm while you were only crying. I will reveal the exact path to healing, to the restoration of your peace, and to the victory that your faith so longs for. Beloved daughter, if this word of God is truly touching you, comment below with your name, the country, state, and city you are watching from, and the time where my grace reaches you. Release your faith without restrictions. Break the silence of your pain. Write in the comments with all the strength of your spirit, Lord my God, I am here. I subscribed because I love you and want to hear you. Receive my embrace in this space of light. Join this family of faith by subscribing to the channel. Leave your like so that this love reaches other wounded hearts, and activate the notification bell. Stay with me until the end of this journey. I promise you that God will give a clear answer at the end. A phrase will be whispered to the heart of whoever remains, and whoever writes that phrase in the comments will receive prophetic blessings released in faith. There is still a profound mystery you need to understand about the days when you believed that absolutely no one noticed your hidden suffering. Before drying all your tears today, you need to hear the liberating truth about your most difficult nights. What would your weary soul cry out to me today if there were no more fear of being judged? Write in the comments our word of intimacy and faith for this moment of liberation. Hope. I know the nights when sleep eluded you. Time passed slowly, and your mind created scenarios of anguish. The weight on your chest seemed unbearable. The darkness of the room seemed a reflection of the emptiness that tried to settle in your soul, and you felt completely alone in this vast world. Hot, silent tears fell freely, and even when there was no sound coming from your lips, your spirit cried out for help and direction. I feel the pain you hold in your chest. I feel the immense weariness you carry from having to be the fortress all the time, caring for everyone around you while, inside, your own heart begged for a drop of affection, validation, and understanding. My word, in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, assures me that I am near to the broken-hearted and save the crushed in spirit. When your strength ran out and despair tightened your throat, I was not far away. I was there, right beside you, collecting every drop of your invisible sadness. You even thought that my silence was abandonment, perhaps even punishment for some past mistake. But my silence was only the silence of one who works in secret. It was the meticulous care of a father, stitching up the wounds that life and disappointments opened in your story. Something much greater than your pain is happening now in the spiritual realm. A divine providence has begun to sprout precisely in the arid ground that you watered with your solitary tears. A seed of miracle is breaking through the earth beneath your feet. But in order for you to receive the fullness of the answer I have prepared, you need to discover the mystery of what your hands, even empty, are still capable of generating before me. If this whisper of my love has already brought a small sigh of peace to your affliction, please like it now, not as a simple action, but as a testament that you feel my affection. If your soul has found a safe haven amidst this storm, allow this space to be your daily dwelling, subscribing so as not to miss my constant walk with you. Do you remember someone who also suffers silently in the same cold dawns and who desperately needs this strength? Extend this divine embrace to them, sharing this message of light. Before we take the next step in your healing, speak to me sincerely. In the depths of your nocturnal silence, what did your heart most implore me to take from you? Write in the comments our word of liberation, marking your faith at this moment, relief. Daughter, my care for you also manifests itself through the hands that join to keep this flame burning. If it is possible for you, and only if there is peace and possibility on your path today, transform your gratitude for the answer you received into a seed of love for this purpose. Consider my immense love and the sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and support this work using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the sacred place where your contribution of affection can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things visible and invisible. You can support with any amount, and always remember the truth that probes spirits. Give only what freely fits in your heart. I receive each offering with unconditional love. I don't care about the greatness of the human value. What truly matters is the pure heart with which it is given. For what is little to you can be an immensity of help to the one who receives it. Whoever decides to contribute any amount with a sincere heart, don't forget to leave your name and city along with your donation of love. For on the first day of the following month, in a unique and very special message on our Divine Love, the Voice of God channel, your name will be remembered and mentioned in a profound expression of gratitude in prayer before me. For it is written, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your produce, then your barns will be filled to overflowing." Proverbs 3:9-10. Every offering made in faith is a seed planted before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit in the soil of your life and your family. I see your faithfulness in secret, and I reward you abundantly in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice and reveal to you the mystery of my time in your life. Your answer has already been decreed, and what is about to be unveiled will give you strength to never again doubt the waiting. If this opportunity to plant a seed has touched your spirit in any way, leave a like as a gesture of trust in my provision. I invite your heart to subscribe to our dwelling so that we may continue building this covenant. Share this invitation with someone who also understands the mystery of gratitude. Tell me, with all your vulnerability, what is the greatest harvest your heart expects from me after so many tears? Write in the comments our word of faith to seal this covenant. Providence. The waiting has deeply wounded your soul. Time advances mercilessly, days turn into months, and the anguish of delay tries to whisper to your exhausted mind that your prayer has been filed away and forgotten in the vast sky. I feel the discord in your heart when hope falters. I know the feeling of suffocation and emptiness that tightens your throat when the answer you so desperately plead for seems unattainable. But I tell you today that not a single comma of what you asked of me has been ignored. In the second letter of Peter, chapter 3, verse 8, my word reveals that with the Lord a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years like a day. My time is not measured by the haste of the human calendar or by the anxiety that consumes you, but by the perfection of my love and my care for you. I do not allow delay to hurt you or to punish you. Every second of this waiting has served to clear the ground of your heart and prepare the exact setting with the right people, so that your miracle takes deep root and is not stolen by the storms of the future. There's an invisible puzzle being assembled right now in your favor. Pieces of a lifetime you never even imagined existed are being carefully aligned in the spiritual realm. The answer you seek is already on its way, but so that you don't delay this work by trying to solve everything with your own strength, there's an attitude of surrender that your soul needs to embrace today, before the darkness tries to frighten you again. If you feel my comfort warming your spirit with this truth, leave a like as a long sigh of relief and acceptance. Allow your heart to find a safe haven by subscribing to our channel so you don't miss my whisper on the noisiest and most confusing days. And if you remember someone who also cries silently for the delay of a miracle, share this embrace of hope with that person. Before I reveal to you the exact weight you need to release today to experience my work, speak to me intimately. What is the promise that your soul has the most difficulty waiting to be fulfilled? Write in the comments our word of absolute surrender. Trust, so that you can release this weight without fear and weather the storm. I have prepared a safe haven for your mind to rest on days of intense anxiety. I feel the dawn approaching and exhaustion overwhelming your being. I know your hidden tears that insist on wetting your pillow, and I know how much you need constant comfort, a fresh start with each sunrise. If your heart desires to go deeper with me in this restoration, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, which I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was meticulously prepared to accompany you day after day, in silence and deep intimacy, as a daily remedy for your troubled soul. Access is also available via the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. And if today it is not possible for you to embrace this opportunity, do not condemn yourself in any way. Remain with me here, in peace, because I will also sustain you and nourish your spirit with this message. And so that your heart may find complete rest and not be confused by earthly things, soon after you register, access will smoothly arrive in the email you provided, with all the correct, step-by-step instructions to begin being shepherded by me. For it is written, "When anxiety was overwhelming me within, your consolation brought relief to my soul." Psalm 94:19. I am that faithful presence that never sleeps, the Father who cares for and protects every beat of your weary heart. Take a deep breath now. Calm your thoughts, keep walking, and trust. Your pain has an exact limit drawn by my hands, but the mystery of how I will definitively remove this excessive burden that imprisons your shoulders still needs to be revealed to your heart. And the next step you need to take will open the doors to your freedom. If you feel my presence calming you through this daily care, let your light be a silent sign that you accept my embrace. Subscribe to our dwelling so that this companionship may be your constant refuge. Share this invitation of love with that soul that also cries in lonely nights. Tell me with all your vulnerability. Amidst your weariness, what is the embrace your soul most needs from its Creator at this moment? Write in the comments our word of communion. Acceptance. I feel the crushing weight that has accumulated on your shoulders over the years. You have tried to be the pillar of everyone around you, resolving the afflictions of your family, absorbing the pain of those you love, and bravely fighting to fix situations that have already escaped your control. Your mind works tirelessly, day and night, churning with worries about tomorrow, and your heart constantly beats with a silent guilt for not being able to embrace and protect the whole world. But I tell you, with all the tenderness of a father who scrutinizes your innermost intentions, this gigantic burden was not designed for your shoulders. In the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, I recorded an irrefutable and eternal call for days of exhaustion exactly like this. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. When you clench your fists tightly, trying to dictate the pace of your own salvation and solve problems that no longer belong to you, you end up suffocating the peace I desire to pour upon your life. The true healing of your soul begins the exact moment you decide to stop fighting alone against the current. I ask you now to open your hands in the realm of the Spirit. Release fear. Surrender to my infinite providence that which keeps you awake at night and makes you grow old with anguish. You need to learn to rest in my direction. For there is a sacred and profound reason why I allowed you to feel the limit of your own weakness. That entire long period in which everything seemed paralyzed, stagnant, and immersed in a cutting silence was not abandonment. There was a glorious preparation happening in secret, a scenario of restitution being built brick by brick that is about to completely change the course of your story, and whose ultimate purpose I will now unveil to your heart, so that your spiritual eyes may finally open to victory. If you feel your shackles beginning to loosen with this liberating truth, let your enjoyment be an invisible act of deciding to release the weight and rest. Sign up for this sacred dwelling of ours so you never forget where your true strength comes from. Share this relief with that heart you know is also on the verge of emotional exhaustion. Speak to me in the deepest sincerity of your inner self. What is the impossible battle that you decide today to stop fighting with your own arms and surrender to my altar? Write in the comments our word of absolute rest, surrender. I see the invisible marks that time and trials have left on your spirit. Every tear you had to swallow, every injustice you endured in profound silence, and every door that violently slammed shut before your eyes made you doubt your own worth. Looking back at your recent history, your soul often only saw ruins, postponed projects, and dreams that seemed to have withered completely at the root. But I know the truth about your life, a truth that your pain tried to hide. In the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, my word affirms with immense power that we know that all things work together for good to those who love God. Pay attention to my whisper now. What you called destruction, I called foundation. That silence that tore at your heart with so much anguish was never a sign of my abandonment, but rather the sound of my own hands removing from your path situations, illusions, and dependencies that would surely destroy your tomorrow. I needed to allow your roots to deepen in the dry soil of hardship, so that the winds of victory and spiritual prosperity to come could not knock you down. The stage for your new time has already been set, and it will bring you a strength and wisdom you have never possessed before. However, there is one last cycle of mourning that needs to be definitively closed today. Your spirit still carries the remnants and tattered garments of the past. So that you may step into this new phase of light with wholeness, there is a divine order of healing and an awakening that I am about to release upon your life. An inexhaustible breath that will make you recognize the woman of unwavering faith who has risen from her own ashes. And the call to this dawn will transform your pain into a living testimony. If you feel your heart beat stronger with the arrival of this new time, let your heart beat as a silent seal that you accept my new beginning. Sign up for our dwelling, so you may walk enlightened and safe by my side with each new step. Share this message of life with that wounded heart that believes its own story is already over. Open your heart to me with vulnerability. What does your soul feel upon discovering that your greatest desert was the preparation for your greatest blessing? Write in the comments our word of renewal, marking this celestial moment. Renewal. The time has come to lift the vision of your spirit, beloved daughter. For too long your inner gaze has been fixed on the ground of your own defeats, contemplating the ashes of what seemed to have been lost forever. I feel the slight tremor of your soul as you try to take the first step towards a new beginning, dominated by the deep fear that pain will return to visit you. But the darkness that held you captive no longer has any authority over your mind. The sun of my righteousness has begun to tear through the thick clouds of your suffering. In the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 18 and 19, I commanded with a voice of thunder and a father's love, forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. It is already springing up. I call you now to abandon mourning through the doors that I myself closed to protect you from the storms. Accept the continuous restoration that descends from heaven upon your being at this very moment. Your story will not be marked by silent sadness, but by the vibrant testimony of a living miracle. However, to seal this new journey of yours and shield your mind against any future attack of discouragement, the ultimate surrender is needed. The sacred word that I promised to whisper in your ear from the moment your prayer reached me is about to be released, and it will be your sword in the days when weakness tries to return. If the light of this new dawn already warms your heart in a supernatural way, leave your like as a silent sign that your spiritual eyes have opened to grace. Subscribe to our channel so that your mornings and early mornings are always guided and comforted by my voice. Share this glimmer of authentic hope with those you know still cry in the darkness. Speak to me with all your newfound courage. What old baggage of guilt are you letting fall to the ground today so that you can freely embrace the new? Write in the comments our word of triumph and light. Awaken. Your journey through this valley of silent tears has prepared your mature heart for this very moment of communion and unwavering truth. I have gathered all your invisible doubts, calmed the furious wind that lashed your exhausted mind, and brought you back to the safe center of my will, which is good, perfect, and pleasing. The pain that suffocated you tried to convince you that your strength was gone, but you discovered today that true strength does not come from your weary shoulders, but from my inexhaustible grace that sustains you when you can no longer stand. The time has come to release upon your spirit the prophetic answer I have prepared from the beginning, the absolute spiritual key capable of shattering any chain of fear and insecurity that tries to rise against you. Hear my whisper now, engraving each syllable on the tablets of your restored heart. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. As an act of unwavering faith, unrestricted surrender, and an affirmative response to heaven, write this exact phrase in the comments now. May this declaration be the ultimate seal of your daily victory and the living proof that you have received my inner healing. Our deep conversation does not end this morning, daughter. There are other wounds I wish to heal, and other mysteries of heavenly peace that I still long to reveal to your heart. Continue walking with me on our channel's playlist, for my voice will continue to be your guide and your most loyal companion. Your silence was the loudest cry I have ever heard. Your healing began when you finally rested in me, and your tomorrow will be illuminated by my endless peace.